Today we're going to create this 3D color banded text effect in Adobe Illustrator. This technique can be a little glitchy, so I'll be sure to provide a few suggestions to work around the glitch in the video. This effect looks best with a less saturated color palette and a blocky font. The font that I am recommending is called BD Caramel from Adobe Fonts, which I have linked in the YouTube description. So make sure you go ahead and download that before we get started. Oh, and while you're down there, give this video a thumbs up to support the channel. And if you are new here, my name is Erin, a formerly self-taught designer turned university professor with 10 years of experience working with clients. I'll see you in Illustrator. All right, I have my live text layer and color palette ready to go. These numbers are the hex codes that you can use to steal my color palette. Once you have your text set up, select it and go to Type, Create Outlines. Go to Window, Gradient to open your gradient panel. Under Type, select the middle option to set your fill to a radial gradient. At the bar down here, add 2 more stops, and we will assign a color to each stop. Let's double-click a stop that you want to assign a color to. In the window that pops up, select the eyedropper tool, and then select the color you want to add to the gradient. You can also just type in the hex number. Do this for all 4 stops. You can even move the stops around to change the order of the colors in the gradient. Hit V on your keyboard to grab your Move tool. Now right-click on your text and select Ungroup. Now that your text is ungrouped, click off of it and then select one letter at a time. Grab your gradient tool from your toolbar, and now we can edit each individual gradient. So I'm going to click and drag to create a new gradient. And within each letter, I'm going to edit my stops as I see fit to avoid redundancy. Go ahead and do this for each of the letters. With your Move tool selected, click and drag to select all of your letters, and on your keyboard, use the key command, Command or Control G, to group them again. Now go to Object, Expand. Make sure that Fill is checked and that Specify is set to 1 and hit OK. And voila! If you experience a glitch where maybe you lose a letter at the end or the gradient just doesn't transform, you can try one or all of these tips. Number 1, restart Illustrator and make sure you are on the most updated version of Illustrator. Also make sure you're using Illustrator under Wi-Fi. 2, don't use more than 4 colors in your gradient. 3, you can go to Object, Compound Path, and Release before you expand your gradient. Or when you are expanding your gradient, increase the number. Anywhere between 1 through 10 is fine, but don't do any more than 10. All right, now we're going to make this 3D, so go to Window, 3D and Materials to open your 3D panel. Right away, under Object, let's choose Inflate. Set the depth to 90 pixels. Leave the twist at 0 degrees. Leave the taper at 100%. And set the volume to 0. Under Rotation, set the X value to -20. Set the Y value to -24. And set the Z value to -11. Oh, and make sure that Inflate both sides is checked. At the top of the panel, let's go under Materials. At the bottom of the Materials panel, you'll have your properties, so let's scroll down under Base Properties, change the roughness to 0.6, and change metallic to 0.46. At the top of the panel, let's go under Lighting, adjust the intensity to 64%, set the rotation to 1 degree, set the height to 32, set the softness to 72, keep ambient light checked, and set the ambient light intensity to 59. Go ahead and toggle this button to turn on your shadows. Position the shadow to sit below the object. Leave distance from the object at 0%, but increase the shadow bounds so that way you can see the entire shadow. I'm increasing mine to around 98%. Once you get this far, you can check ray tracing at the top of your panel by opening this little box, turn on the ray tracing setting, set the quality to high, and select render. You always want to save this step for the end, and this just gives your illustration a much more realistic look, blending out all of the shadows and highlights. At this point, you can select your artboard tool, and under Properties, change Fill to Other, and let's select a color. This is something you can play around with until you find a color that you like. That one is kind of gross. Let's do something else. This is a new 2026 feature, and what I don't love about it is that it doesn't give you a preview of the colors that you're choosing. This one doesn't look too bad. So if you've made it this far, please hit that subscribe button to support my channel. I hope you enjoyed creating this 3D color banded effect, and check back next week for a new tutorial. Thank you for watching.